Sampling and laboratory diagnosis of parasitic infections. Before proceeding to diagnosis, let's review parasitology in brief. Introduction. Medical parasitology deals with the parasites which cause human infections and the diseases they produce. It is broadly divided into two parts. 1. Protozoology. 2. Helminthology. Parasites. Parasites are living organisms which depend on a living host for their nourishment and survival. They multiply or undergo development in the host. Parasites can also be classified as ectoparasite, endoparasite, host. Host is defined as an organism which harbors the parasite and provides nourishment and shelter to latter and is relatively larger than the parasite. Definitive host. The host in which the adult parasite lives and undergoes sexual reproduction is called the definitive host. Example: mosquito acts as definitive host in malaria. Intermediate host. The host in which the larval stage of the parasite lives or asexual multiplication takes place is called the intermediate host. Host-parasite relationships. Host-parasite relationships are of following types: symbiosis, commensalism, parasitism. Sources of infection: contaminated soil and water, food, vectors, biological and mechanical. Laboratory diagnosis. Most of the parasitic infection cannot be conclusively diagnosed. On the basis of clinical features and physical examination, laboratory diagnosis depends upon microscopy, culture, serological test, skin test, molecular method, animal inoculation, xenodiagnosis. Imaging, hematology, microscopy. An appropriate clinical specimen should be collected for definitive diagnosis of parasitic infections. Following specimens are usually examined to establish a diagnosis: stool, blood, urine, sputum, cerebrospinal fluid (CSF), tissue and aspirates, genital specimens. Stool examination. Examination of stool is very important for the detection of intestinal infections like Giardia, Amoeba, Ascaris, Ancylostoma, etc. Cysts and laryngozoids of E. histolytica, C. lumblia can be demonstrated in feces. Eggs of roundworm and tapeworm are also found in stool. The larvae are found in the feces in Sticorylus infection. Blood examination. Examination of blood is of vital importance for demonstrating parasites which circulate in blood vessels. Malarial parasite is confirmed by demonstration of its morphological stages in the blood. Urine examination. The characteristic lateral spined eggs of S. hematobium and trophozoites of T. vaginalis can be detected in urine. Microfilaria of W. bancrofti are often demonstrated in the colous urine. Sputum examination. The eggs of P. westemani are commonly demonstrated in the sputum specimen. Occasionally, larval stages of S. sticorylus and A. lumbricoides may also be found in sputum. Cerebrospinal fluid examination. Some protozoa like T. brucei, Naegleria, Acanthamoeba, Balamouthia and Angiostrongylis can be demonstrated in the CSF. Tissue and aspirates examination. The larvae of Trichinella and eggs of Schistosoma can be demonstrated in the muscle biopsy specimens. By histopathological examination of brain, Naegleria and Acanthamoeba can be detected. In Kala Azar, Leishman Donovan, LD, bodies can be demonstrated in spleen and bone marrow aspirate. Trophozoites of Giardia can be demonstrated in intestinal aspirates. Trophozoites of E. histolytica can be detected in liver pus in cases of amoebic liver abscess. Genital specimen examination. Trophozoites of T. vaginalis are found in the vaginal and urethral discharge. Eggs of E. vermicularis are found in anal swabs. Culture. Some parasites like Leishmania, Entamoeba and Trypanosoma can be cultured in the laboratory in various axonic and polyxonic media. Serological tests. Serological tests are helpful for the detection and surveillance of many protozoal and helminthic infections. These tests are basically of two types. 1. Tests for antigen detection. 2. Tests for antibody detection. Antigen detection. Malaria antigen like PF alciparum lactate dehydrogenase PLDH and histidine-rich protein 2, HRP2, are detected by rapid immunochromatographic test. Filarial antigens are detected in current infection by enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay ELISA. Antibody detection. The following antibody detection procedures are useful in detecting various parasitic infections like amoebiasis, echinococcosis and leishmaniasis in man. Complement fixation test CFT. Indirect hemagglutination IHA. Indirect immunofluorescent antibody IFA test. Rapid Immunochromatographic Test (ICT). Enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay test (ELISA). Skin test. Skin tests are performed by injecting parasitic antigen intradermally and observing the reaction. In immediate hypersensitivity reaction, Wieland flare response is seen within 30 minutes of infection, whereas erythema and in duration seen after 48 hours of injection is called as delayed hypersensitivity reaction. Molecular diagnosis. Molecular methods most frequently used to diagnose human parasitic infection are deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA) probes, polymerase chain reaction (PCR), and microarray technique. These tests are very sensitive and specific. Animal inoculation. It is useful for the detection of Toxoplasma, Trypanosoma and Babesia from the blood and other specimens. Xenodiagnosis. Some parasitic infection like Chagas disease caused by T. cruzi can be diagnosed by feeding the larvae of Reduvic bugs with patient's blood and then detection of mastigotes of T. cruzi in their feces. Imaging. Imaging procedures like X-ray, ultrasonography, USG, computed tomography, CT, scan and magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) are now being extensively used for diagnosing various parasitic infections like neurocystic and hydatid cyst disease. Hematology. Anemia is frequently seen in hookworm infection and malaria. Eosinophilia is frequently present in helminthic infections. Hypergammaglobulinemia occurs in visceral leishmaniasis. Leukocytosis is seen in amoebic liver abscess. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe and share.